Allergic rhinitis. This is the inflammation of the nasal passage by the allergens present in the surrounding atmosphere. Basically, it is a non-contagious disease that produces overproduction of the mucus in the nasal passage, producing nasal stuffiness, sneezing, coughing, itching in the nasal passage, posterior part of the pharynx, and also watering of the eyes due to conjunctivitis. It is a non-pathogenic disease produced by the harmless allergens which are mistakenly considered as harmful to the body by the immune system of the body. When these allergens get entry through nasal or oral pathway, these produces irritation, inflammation and congestion of the mucosa of the lining the nasal passage. That produces overproduction of the mucus and that blocks the passage of the air from the atmosphere through the nasal cavity into the lungs. So there is obstruction of respiration in the patient suffering from the allergic rhinitis. So it is not present in all the all the human beings, but specific cases, that is the person who are having genetic disorder, that the abnormal genes which are protein to the which are prone to the effect of the action of the or overactivity of the immune system against the innocent allergens. So there is coughing, sneezing, stuffiness due to congestion of the nasal passage, watering of the eyes, then there is lethargy, muscle pain, fatigue, there is post-nasal drip due to the irritation of the posterior part of the pharynx and production of the mucus. That produces the obstruction in the respiratory tract. That is part of the respiratory tract, including the nasal passage. Then there is also dark circle below the eyes, sinusitis, the other symptoms related to the complication of this disease, that is sinusitis, there is headache, and also there is nasolacrimal duct blockage due to the overproduction of the mucus, plugging of the mucus in this duct. Then there is also, the blockage of the guttation tube. So these changes produces complication in the auditory and the vision systems. There is photophobia also. There is also pain in the eyes, over production of the lacrimal secretions that produces disturbance in the vision. So these allergens, though they are not harmful directly, but they are considered harmful for the body by the immune system in certain patients, not all the patients. So it is a part of genetic disease. The immune system, that is B cell, T cell, macrophages, they attack the allergens when they get entry through the nasal cavity. They produces antibody which is called as immunoglobulin E, and these antibodies stimulate the mast cells. Mast cell produces histamine, and the histamine chemical then irritate the goblet cell, the mucus secreting cells of the nasal passage, that produces the stuffiness, congestion of the nasal passage due to the overproduction of the mucus, and also due to the irritation of the nerves, sensory nerves in the nasal passage, that produces also sneezing, and also due to irritation of the posterior part of the pharynx. That is, the pharyngitis, allergic pharyngitis, that produces cough. But this cough is due to the inflammation of the posterior part of the pharynx, not in the respiratory tract, lower respiratory tract, which consists of the bronchus, bronchioles, etc. So this allergic rhinitis is divided into two types: seasonal, which appears in the only the season wise, especially the when the spring season, due to the allergens or the pollens produced by the grasses, trees, weeds, and flowers. And it is a season when these pollens are produced. They got entry through the nostrils and produces the irritation and the inflammation of the nasal cavity. Second is the perennial, which is present all around the year. So in certain patients, they suffer this allergic rhinitis throughout the years. And these are produced by the dust mite, ticks, animal danders, perfumes, and the chemicals, especially the persons working in the factories or living around the chemical factories, they suffer due to these allergens. So they produces the allergic rhinitis. Allergic rhinitis is a non-contagious disease specific to the patient suffering from the abnormality or the gene mutation. They, because the immune system of those patients that react mistakenly, overreact mistakenly against these harmless or innocent allergens and produces the inflammatory process and the congestion and the obstruction in the nasal cavity due to overproduction of the mucus secretion.